Hey friends, thanks for taking time today for this Life Together video at Southern Hills United Methodist Church. I'm Jim Nichols. I'm joined today by Christina White, our Faith Formation Director and Children's Director here at the main campus, actually at both campuses. You oversee those ministries. And I'm really excited for her to join me today because we're going to be talking about a really important piece of our life together at the church, Vacation Bible School. Yes, even with coronavirus. Even with everything going on, Vacation Bible School is still happening, though it's going to look a little bit differently than anything that we've ever seen or done before. So I'm really excited to have Christina with us. Before we dive in and we talk about Vacation Bible School, I do want to remind you these Life Together videos are about a couple of things. They're about sharing formation, times where we talk about just our faith and how we're deepening. Also opportunity to talk about missions. A couple weeks ago, we talked with our friends at Common Good and shared that ministry moment. Other times, it's about information, things that we're doing together in the life of our church that we want to make sure you're aware of. Today is kind of a combination of mission and information. Children's ministry is a big piece of our life, but there's also some information we want to make sure you are aware of so that you can share with those folks in your family who may be interested. So, Christina, thanks again for being with us this morning, or in this video, morning, afternoon, whenever people are watching. Really glad that you can share with us about Vacation Bible School. So just let's tell everybody about, first off, what we're doing with Vacation Bible School this year, since we can't do what we normally do.
Right. So a couple months ago, several children's pastors, actually about 50, got together and we decided to create this virtual Vacation Bible School. So each of us took a separate piece, so it wasn't very taxing for anyone, and we were able to combine it into this virtual experience.
So Vacation Bible School will happen then in front of a screen?
Yes. So next week, actually, we are having opportunities at 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. via Zoom. There's a registration link that will be with this video, and then if people can't get on at those times, we're going to be sending out the links. So families can watch them from the beach, if they're at the beach, or if you're in Montana, it snowed yesterday, so you could watch it there if you wanted to, or in your living rooms.
So it's very accessible. Everybody will be able to get onto this.
Yes.
You don't have to be a church member or be a
No.
church regular attender for this. We can
No.
share this with anybody.
Yep.
So tell us what we're going to experience then in Vacation Bible School this year.
Okay, so our theme this year is Where in the World is God? And we will be, the kids are get on a virtual airplane, and they're going to travel to states like Alaska and Texas and Georgia, Florida, Kentucky, and even Honduras and Tanzania. At one point, they actually get to get on a spaceship and go into space. So that's really cool. And the whole time, they're going to be trying to answer the question, where in the world is God? And here's the spoiler alert, God is everywhere and He's always with us.
Sounds like a really exciting opportunity to not just have for the kids, but even for parents. So there'll be activities for the kids to do. I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of connect point for moms and dads to kind of join the kids in these adventures, right?
Yes. So here's a fun fact. Miss Jones' daughter lives in Texas, and you're going to get to see her on day 3, and she's at a pig farm. And on day 4, I'm at a horse farm. And so you'll get to learn little bits and pieces about all the states that we visit while we dive into God's Word.
Very good. So very different way of doing Vacation Bible School.
Yes.
But still, we're trying to connect and answer this question, where is God, right?
Right.
Probably a pretty important thing for us to be all thinking about in this season when we're all divided and everywhere and things are going kind of crazy. So I'm excited to be able to share this with our kids. I know you guys have been working real hard, both you and Sean, at the Source campus. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen as a result of this and the glory sightings that we get to share. What's the most exciting thing about this year's VBS that maybe you could share with everybody?
I would say the most exciting thing is that the kids and families are going to get to experience this together. Sometimes, a lot of times, our volunteers are parents, and the parents may not be with the group that their children are with, so they're going to get to all be together.
Wow, so it's a whole family experience.
It
That's
is.
pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, that actually is a great segue, because from VBS we talked a minute ago about this faith formation thing, something that you and I have been talking for several months about, and Staff Parish has been on board with this. And one of the things that I'm really excited to share with our church is we are inching ever so closer with coronavirus. It's kind of slowed us down a little bit. But discipleship is a big piece of the life of the follower of Jesus. And being able to link our faith from birth all the way till life beyond death, as we say in our creeds, is really important. And so let's share just a little bit about this idea of faith formation and what we're thinking this is going to be for us. Can you share, I guess, maybe your impressions about what we're trying to accomplish with this?
So I'll share a little bit from my personal experience. When my kids were little, I really had a desire to understand how their faith was formed, how I could be a part of that. And as they grew into teenagers and now adults, I wondered how I could be involved in investing in their faith formation. And that took me on a journey that I didn't expect, where kind of like a mini seminary. And I was able to dive into what that really meant for not just my family, but our church family, and how we could better resource each other in our faith formation. So what I hope that looks like is that all of our people are invested in some sort of community group together as they learn and grow and serve. I love our connect, grow, serve all around worship, and all of those pieces are really important to our faith. And so my goal is to start connecting those dots for us.
That's very cool. So this beautiful arc then of growing as a follower of Jesus. There's something really beautiful about that. Being able to share that throughout generations is kind of the second piece of that, and helping people see that discipleship doesn't just happen with our little bitties in children's ministry. It's a lifelong journey and part of that. So we're really excited about faith formation and what this is going to look like in our church as we get closer to the fall, as we pray that coronavirus is in our past. But even if it's not, even with other flare-ups, we're going to be pursuing what it looks like to continue to look at these milestones and how we're growing, and how things like baptism and confirmation and graduations and marriages and how all of this stuff fits into it. So it's really exciting season. I know the Grow team's been working on this already, so we're really excited to be able to begin this part of our journey together. Christine, is there anything else that you would want to share with our congregation, whether it's about Vacation Bible School or faith formation, before we let everybody go on to their next Facebook search?
Yeah. The last thing that I'd like to share is I've had a few questions about what does children's ministry look like coming back into in-person worship. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about that. We sent out a parent survey and a volunteer survey to see when our families would be ready to come back to in-person worship. And so once we get the results of that and are able to look at it, we will let families know. Our hope is to open our nursery in July so that families with little bitties who don't feel comfortable bringing their babies into worship will have a safe space for them. Our next goal then, of course, would be our preschoolers and kindergartners. And lastly, having a Sunday school time. We don't have that. We don't have a date set for that yet. But when we do, we'll definitely let you know and keep you in the loop on those things. But during in-person worship, every family should have received a summer kit. And in that kit included sermon notes sheets, and so with a folder. So you can bring that with you. But if you happen to forget it and you're coming to in-person worship, we will have clipboards at the entrance to the sanctuary and some crayons. And what they need to do is take those things home. Leave the clipboards in a bucket that's going to be as you exit, and we'll make sure those get cleaned each week.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. Well, the last thing that I was thinking of is just kind of a little teaser for everybody. We're getting closer and closer as we walk through the summer. I know you got a big transition. We're making some moves with physical space. We're really excited that hopefully by the time that fall rolls around, that our children's ministry is going to be kind of more consolidated in one part of our building. And I can't wait for that. I think that's going to be a real blessing. Part of that consolidation means for those of you who are parents of young children, we're going to have new opportunities for Sunday school classes for you on Sunday mornings in the same kind of footprint that our kids are. And so we're going to be sharing that as we get closer into August, as we show you some videos and pictures and things that we're working on there. So really exciting time for children's ministry, faith formation, discipleship at Southern Hills. So make sure you check out the rest of our website. Look for the link for registering for VBS. Grandmas and grandpas, uncles and aunts, share that with other people. Let's enjoy this together, and let's see what God's going to do in the week to come. Christina, thanks so much for being with us. Next week, we'll be introducing you on our Life Together video. You should have gotten something in your email this week about Ben Porter, our Isaiah Project intern. Next week, I'm going to sit down with him, and we're going to hear a little bit more from Ben, his story, and what's going on in his life as he's been brought to us for this season. So thanks again for logging in, and hope you'll share this with somebody else and let them know about Life Together. Thanks for spending this time. We'll see you next time. Grace and peace.